Hi there, this is Jenny from Jenny's Garden, and today I have been stenciling using Dreamweaver stencil paste, and this one time when I do it, I'm going to use the Ranger texture paste, which is translucent. So both of these are translucent products. They go very, very well mixing them with Pixie paints. So these Pixie powders are from Cosmic Shimmer. I get both the Cosmic Shimmer Pixie powder. I get it in stencils from Joggles. So I like joggles.com. She always has funky stuff, and I'm into the funk. Better get funky. Like, look, we got a mermaid we're gonna be doing. So this is the one I did in the last video. It started out really neat, and then I was kind of going fast, and I used the extra paste to do extra trees. And then I took the spatulas and cleaned them off on this paper, and look, it's all shiny, and it's gonna have that texture paste in it, so it's gonna have some little texture in it. So that'd be cool. We are gonna do this mermaid right here, because when I looked at, let me show you these. So this is what I started with last night when I decided to do a video. So I started making these last night. I started with regular Pixie paints and the stencil, and my Dreamweaver texture paint was sitting there, or texture paste. And so I said, well, let's try this. And what I did is I had a little tonic craft spoon, and I spooned the pigments into each of the holes on the while the stencil was still there. Today I've done some leaves, and I did this leaf first. I videoed it, but I was not happy with the video. And with this one, I started a new process. Instead of putting the Pixie powder into each hole, I kind of spread it out over while the stencil was still on, and I used my spatula and scraped it and got the color in there. And so you'll see that on the last video, and you'll see it on this one, because I thought, ooh, what about scales? They're always variegated in color. So I thought we would do her. Now, usually with smaller stencils, I like to use a Tim Holtz or Sizzix sticky grid, but this one is going to be in the middle. And usually people like to tape them down, but I've got everything but my tape. Every time I do another video, I'm missing something. So I'm going to use the Ranger texture paste. Let me make sure you can see that. Okay, Ranger texture paste. And I've got my little spatulas over here, my little craft spatulas. So I'm going to dig some of this out. All I'm doing is digging. And then I'm going to start with her head. Of course, she's already moved. Okay, so no more moving. Miss Mermaid. When you're stenciling, I try to start the glob at the top, and then I move it down. Yes, glob is a technical term. Okay, so let's get, it looks like the paste is pulling up some of the color off of the stencil where I left and did not clean it well enough. Which is fine with me. I don't care. I like colors in there. They all match up as long as you don't muddy them. If you're careful and you don't muddy, you're good. Make our words. Just very lightly, it's like icing a cake. If you do grout work, you know, you float your float over the grout and pull it down. You're doing the same thing here. You're kind of like slowly edging or pushing the paste into the stencil. Get everything cleaned up so we don't have any lines. You notice I'm always going in the same direction as much as possible. Now when I take this, I am just gonna like put it on the very lip of my pot, because I don't want to get in and get colors in the other sides. I don't do that if it's my last coloring. I actually would spread it out around if I had colors and stuff in it. Okay, so let's start with some emerald green. And since I'm using Pixie paste in these little tubs, I'm gonna try to just dot it. Okay, and I might be shaking. Sorry if I'm shaking. Then I need some blue. Blue. So midnight blue. Midnight blue. Right. Put some blue, 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 blue. Get those two colors for the scales. We'll do the tail. We'll do her stomach in blue. Oh, her arm might be blue too. Okay, so she's going to be a blue mermaid. Well, that works. I mean, she is into the water. Woo-hoo. Okay. So, I'm going to pull that out. And because it's got paste in it, it's a little easier to pull out. Keep it out of her hair if we can. And start spreading the color. I try to have enough spatulas for the different colors I have so I don't mix them, but if I don't have all my spatulas over here, I just take a baby wipe and wipe it off between colors. Okay. Middle to be blue. So I'm doing that very slowly. That should be enough. Let's get that over here. And it's okay, when we put her hair on, it's gonna all bleed together anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. They come out beautiful. That's all that matters. They look funky at first. So if you saw me, I had just a little divot in her arm, and so I picked up some of the extra paste that was sitting on the stencil, and I filled her arm back in. Okay, and then we'll get down, we'll get some of this blue here. Now I'm just patting it, because I really want that green to show through. Where did that green go? That's cold. Do our little sea thingy here, green. Okay, get some blue bubbles. Oh, these bottles. Come on. Oh, well, that's a lot of blue. Woohoo! Okay. Let's see, I'm getting a clean spatula. And first I want to finish her tail. Because when I was looking at the bubbles yesterday that I did, I was like, oh my gosh, this will be so cool with fish scales. And I was looking for this stencil, and I turned over a piece of paper just now, and it was sitting on my table here. I was like, oh, that works. And if you're a true artist and you've been to art school and anything, please excuse me for anything I do wrong. I'm just a happy amateur that plays. Just plays around, mix. I'm good at it. Ask anyone I know, I'm pretty messy. There's a little starfish up there. And let's see, blue. Put some blue in that starfish. Put some blue in the bubbles. Bubble, bubble, toiling trouble. Okay. Now let's do her hair. See how it works. Well, I don't know. You don't know till you try it. So we got hair, 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 hair. This you definitely want to use a clean spatula for because it's a lighter color. Kind of spread that around very softly. I'm just kind of waving it over her wavy hair. Now I'm just smoothing it into the stencil, trying to keep out the blue if I can. But she would have some blue in her hair anyway because she would have seaweed and stuff unless she just moved around all the time. I watched a thing about sloths yesterday and they said that sloths have moss growing on them, they move so slow. I was like, my goodness, they're slow. Okay, put just a little of this gold into the tail. See how it does. Some gold over there. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Put this to the side. I'm going to pull the stencil. What do you think? I think she's beautiful. I'm trying to get her up close to you. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay, so while we still have our stencil wet, let's take this piece of paper. I think I'm gonna put her upside down. Tell you what I want to do. I want to take a big piece of paper. Oh, let me end this video. Nope, we'll keep going. Sorry, I was thinking of another video. Okay, so we're going to take her and what did I do with my water? I know it fell. Well, my water thing fell. Cover it up. No, it fell and I was going to pick it up. Don't know what to do with it. Okay, I gotta stop the video.